What's up, guys? Today, of course, I'll be breaking down the winter patch and all of the things associated with it. Some housekeeping notes before we start, though. I have been absent the last few weeks from YouTube because I've been super busy with night school. I've been super busy with potential law school planning, a small business opening, and getting ready to chase tornadoes in the spring, setting up all sorts of camera gear and such with my crew that I go with every year in the spring. So, with the patch today and the DLC coming out shortly, I'll at least have some time to post some videos. But this is the first time I've actually played since late December, so I'm extraordinarily rusty. So if you'd like to see some rusty live commentaries as we pass the time the next couple weeks before hitting the DLC, let me know and I'll post them. Otherwise, I'll probably post not much up until the DLC comes out. So if you'd like to see anything, let me know and I'll post it. You know the drill for today, though. I'll break down the patch changes I find most important and worthy of mention and give my thoughts on the pros and cons in terms of balance and fun factor. I'll include the patch notes in the description if you're the actual type that likes to see every single change. And a quick reminder before we start, DLC will be out in a few weeks, conceivably shorter if you own premium. Or if you're on CTE, because apparently it will be, but I can't get on CTE. I'm capped for bandwidth and slow internet, so I won't be able to keep up with the updates. But I am slightly concerned about the player population on PC as it stands for buying premium. I'd much rather not buy premium. I do not like forking out money for DLC before it's been even made. But I'll probably have to just for the sake of my channel. But I am concerned about the player pop on PC, so for that reason I might actually end up getting it on PlayStation. I've yet to decide. And hopefully we'll see if the first DLC alleviates the concerns for the decreasing player population on PC. So we'll see. Let me know your thoughts on that. Let's start. In terms of XP and weapon changes, or XP and unlock changes for this actual patch, Battlefield 1 brought back the old ribbon system from previous Battlefield games if you're used to that. If you're new, what it means is that, say a hypothetical example, you get 5 sniper rifle kills in a round. That gets you a ribbon. It's a hypothetical. Unlike the medal system, you don't need to select them to go for them. They're just always available. Another one, for example, might be getting MVP or a top 3 position on your team. That might net you a ribbon. Each ribbon, as it stands for now, will land you 300 XP, potentially more depending on the importance of a ribbon, say for example. You can unlock it as many times as you meet the criteria. So say for example we go back to the 5 sniper kills in a round. If you get 15 sniper kills, it's 3 ribbons, extra 900 XP. Not too bad. Next, you can unlock something called an Elite Codex. You unlock them once you get 500 kills with a weapon, and it gives you historical background on the weapon. You get 25,000 XP points per Codex unlocked. And apparently you also unlocked an elite version of the weapon, which more than likely is probably just a legendary skin. As it stands, 8 primary weapons will have one available for unlock, but more will be added in the future. I'm assuming all variants of a weapon also count toward that codex. As it stands, the M1897 Trench, the Automatico, the Selbstlader M1916, the M1907, the Gewehr 98, the Madsen MG, the SMLE, and the Bayonet Merci are the 8 current weapons. For the record too, your kills are not retroactive, which it means if you have 499 kills, you're going to need to get 500 fresh kills. Your 499 previously do not count, unfortunately. Continuing on, map voting and private server security have also been added. Between each round, players can vote on the map they want to play, or in effect, they can vote for a map that they don't want to play. This has always brought out mixed opinions, so I'd like to see how it's implemented before I arrive at some sort of conclusive judgment. Those that own their own servers can now kick players out of the servers. Anyone who's toxic or hacking, boom, goodbye. Of course, though, there's a negative side that if you're the guy that likes to knife the admin, there's a potential he could abuse it and boot you too. Pros and cons, of course. Furthermore, every class, instead of being capped at class rank 10, has now been increased to class rank 50. Icons show up on your kill card to reflect this. More dog tags have also been added for each class that change color as you go further up in the ranks. I was a bit surprised to notice that they didn't give out battle packs as rewards for every 5 ranks or something along those lines, but I guess, something like that would probably cut into their profits, so I doubt very much they would. Although it would be nice. I was a bit surprised, to be honest. I'm not sure if XP from ribbons will count toward the class ranks, but I suppose we're going to find out shortly. Objectively, it's very difficult to complain about free new changes, but it does seem as if those were sort of add-ins in this patch that probably should have been in the game to begin with, and they were cut out for time constraints or for whatever reasons. It's definitely going to cater to the completionists or those big on the carrot on the stick style of progression that keeps some people hooked, and that's not a bad thing in the slightest, but I'm not sure it'll be enough to bring back a lot of people that had already left because they felt Battlefield 1 was bare bones. So hopefully it does. Hopefully the player population increases, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So let's get to the nerfs and the buffs. We'll get the vehicles out of the way before we get to the fun stuff. For vehicles, they fixed an issue where the heavy tank would not show up on the minimap when firing at times. They reduced the cooldown of gas abilities on vehicles from 30 to 32 seconds down to 25, but gas duration has been decreased as a result. They fixed an issue where multiple tanks could become available to a team when they shouldn't be. And that one's interesting because there'd be conquest games, of course, where you play where it's 3 or 4 tanks in the other team and you don't have any. And I always thought it was just that you had a whole bunch of cowards on your team that were jumping out and the other team would steal them. But apparently not. So, I'd like them to elaborate a little bit more on this to see what the actual definitive bug was. But we'll see. So let's get into the guns, the nerfs and the buffs. I'll jump right into the level 10 class weapons because those are the fun ones. Everyone's favorite. Increase the damage of the Martini-Henry between 30 and 80 meters slightly. What they did actually was interesting. They changed the damage model instead of the multipliers. So previously you'd have it so that it was 90 damage up to about 20 meters, 100 damage from 30 to 80, and then from 80 meters on it would consistently drop to 70 damage. And that's changed. It actually now has a sweet spot within the sweet spot because the damage now goes 90 damage up to about 20 or so meters, 112 damage between 42 and 68 meters, 100 damage from 68 to 80 meters, and then the consistent drop down to 70 damage. So you have a sweet spot within a sweet spot. You'll deal 112 damage between 42 and 68 meters away. So what it means is for the 0.9 multiplier for hitting someone in the chest or the gut, I should say, the 112 damage will still be a one-hit kill on gut shots and upper arms, but will not be on forearms and legs. From 68 to 80 meters, the weapon will still be a one-hit kill from chest shots and above, but not any of the other limbs. So basically it'll perform similar to the way it did a week ago or pre-winter patch. If you'd like me to re-review some of these level 10 weapons, of course, let me know, and I will do that for you as well. Next up, going into the Selbstlader 1906, it received quite a few positive changes as well. The patch notes list it as increased aimed accuracy, reduced recoil, and decreased spread. So the buffs for it are aiming down sights when standing, the base spread was dropped from 0.25 down to 0.125. So significant. So, aiming down sights while standing, moving, and the aiming down sights moving spread was also decreased in half as well. Aiming down sights while standing, the base minimum recoil was reduced from 0.15 to 0.135, and the aiming down sights while moving minimum recoil was reduced from 0.85 to 0.765. So basically this thing became even more accurate, and it was already quite accurate before the patch. But some nerfs of note for it: an extra at least 0.2, closer to 0.3 seconds of reload delay was added, so this thing's going to reload even slower, which was already a concern for it to begin with. And the aiming down sights recoil decrease, the rating was previously 6, it has been reduced to 4, so it will not snap back as fast anymore. So take it as it was. The magazine size was and reload speed was always the biggest detriment for me as to use it, and they didn't really address it all that much. In fact, the reload's actually made worse. So it still performs at its niche. I'll review it again down the road. Some reports, quick too, from what I've seen quickly. Some players are reporting that the empty reload is completely busted now, so we'll see. One of the bigger positive changes for the game, it's not a weapon though, Reduce the gas duration from 22 to 15 seconds. It sounds like a great change to reduce the spam of gas. The only issue though is that you still get 2 grenades and you can still replenish them quick with an ammo crate, so I don't think this really addressed the gas and grenade spam all that much. Perhaps a better fix was that you're only able to hold 1 grenade, and being able to get it back quickly is just not going to be an option. Like say, yeah, 15, I'm just shooting numbers, I haven't thought it through completely, but maybe 15 seconds through 10-15 to replenish a grenade after you throw the gas. So basically the gas will run out right as you're able to toss another or something. I'm just spitballing. I could come up with a better conclusion if I thought it through. So that's that. I don't think it fixes the spam all that much, to be honest though. They fixed an illogical behavior when using K-bullets with the Martini-Henry. That's no longer exploitable. They tweaked the reload delays to better match the animations on the Selbstlader and the Mondragon. So they were increased the times, unfortunately, for reload from 0.4 to 0.6 on at least the post-reload delays only. They increased horizontal recoil by 14.3% on the following weapons. They list the Automatico Trench, but it's actually the Automatico Storm. The Hellriegel Factory, the M1909 Storm, the Madsen Storm, the MG15 Storm, and the Bar Storm. They increased the horizontal recoil of the Lewis Optical and the M1909 Optical by 10% when aiming down sights, and upped the recoil decrease on low weight SLRs from 6 to 7. They reduced the horizontal recoil of some of the self-loading rifles, which include the auto-loading 8, which is already great. The Seiragati, the M1907 SL, which could probably have used it, so now it's more viable. In terms of shotguns, the 12G automatic shotgun received quite a few changes, quite a few buffs. The extended version, the pellet cone was increased, meaning the weapon will be a 2-hit kill up to 18 meters, assuming you're accurate with most of the pellets hitting center mass. Backboarded had a reduced pellet cone. You should now 2-hit kill a healthy target up to 19 meters. And the Hunter variant, reduced pellet cone, should now 2-hit up to 21 meters. The Model 10A Slug got quite the change, in the positive direction too. The reduced aim dispersion from 0.3 to 0.24 when stationary, and from 0.5 to 0.48 when moving. They increased the muzzle velocity from 380 to 420 meters. They reduced the damage against gut, arms, and legs, and added the ability to kill a healthy target when shots go to the gut or upper arms within 8 meters. They increased the lethal range from chest shots a meter up to 11 meters, and evened out recoil direction. So this thing is going to be an absolute beast, from especially chest shots and above up to 11 meters now. It's going to be a viable option. A bunch of sidearm changes happened as well. The most of note I've seen was the number 3 revolver. The rate of fire when aiming down sights was increased from 119 to 138, so I guess they're attempting to make the revolver archetype a more viable and a better choice. They reduced the damage of impact grenades from 80 to 72. They increased, they reduced visual recoil from aiming down sights fire animations on the MLE 1903, the Piper Carbine, and the M1903, the 1903 Experimental. One I really like here, they improved Cavalry Victim Experience, and that sounds like a great band name. Big one for me. So you shouldn't be killed by a cavalry swiping at you and his sword is still a mile away from you. So that one drove me nuts when a guy, you can see a guy swinging at you and it doesn't even come close and you still die. So they've improved that a bit. We'll see how it plays. They fixed errors where kit elites had unintentionally high health regeneration delays, which is interesting because I always thought that was the teamwork part of it, where you could replenish an elite to keep going. Apparently they're going to regenerate faster, so I'd like to see what you guys' opinions on that is. And lastly, of course, they increased the threshold for suppression effects to prevent suppression from occurring too early. And I'm sure the support crowd is going to absolutely hate this. I can't wait to see the popcorn. I'm going to sit back and watch. That one's going to be a mess. Not that I agree with it or anything. I'm just... the support crowd is going to detest that. I'm not a huge suppression fan to begin with anyway, but That's for another video. And lastly, there was a whole bunch of UI fixes in terms of XP bars exceeding parameters and miscellaneous crashes, and that's about it. So, lastly, of course, if you liked the video, please leave a like, share and subscribe the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you'd like to see more. Let me know your thoughts on any of these changes. Let me know any of your thoughts on, well, anything about me, whether I'm busy, if I'm posting live commentaries, anything of that. And the other thing is, because my time's going to be somewhat limited for at least a little bit in the near future, if you have any suggestions for a video, let me know, because unlike previously where I had all sorts of time to make all sorts of videos, with my time being somewhat more limited, I'd like to focus on videos you guys would actually like to see. So again, if you'd like to see at least live commentaries, although I'll be a little bit rusty when I post them, but the commentaries will be pretty good, let me know if you'd like to see those. I can post some of those. Otherwise, let me know your suggestions. That would be really helpful to maximize my time for posting videos. And that's it. Let me know anything else you want in the comments. See you later, guys.